Hey guys, Joe from SurviveTheWild.us here. I'm just out taking a walk and kind of surveying the woods around here. It's just before the growing season in spring, so the woods are at their worst for foraging. Plants have taken a brunt of the winter, you know, and nothing's sprouting yet. I just wanted to come out and take a look around and see if there was any, you know, plants growing yet, and, you know, so I can time everything for the year. So I'm just making observations. One thing I observed was that there's still leaves on the trees, specifically oaks and American beeches, all winter long, and there's still dead leaves on the trees, plenty of them actually. So that's good to know for starting fires and stuff like that. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. The way that nature provides. Since I've started learning how to be more self-reliant on the woods and use nature as it was given and intended as a resource for survival, because that's what it is. It's everything here, well, everything we have, cars, cell phones, everything we got today, one way or another, it comes from here. So, but before all of our technological innovations, it was, you know, we lived a more rustic lifestyle, you know, more like the Wild West, or even, you know, before that, you know, horse and buggy, wagon, whatever. Log cabins, dugout wells, and we did fine. Anyways, I want to talk about 5 plants, or 2 trees and 3 plants. The 2 trees are oak and birch. The 3 plants are mullein, cattails, and milkweed. 5 plants. I live in New England, in New Hampshire, but I believe those 5 plants, 2 trees, 3 plants, are prevalent throughout. And with those 5 plants, you have just a multitude of resources, which I'm just gonna tap into. You have 3 types of cordage that I know of. That's milkweed being the finest. Then there's cattail. If you extract the fibers from the leaves, which I'm gonna make a better video this spring about doing that. And then there's I'm sorry, 4 types. Then there's the cattail leaves just split into 4s. That's how the Indians used to use it as lashing. And then the other one is the inner bark of a white oak. Probably not as well known, but it's an immediate source of cordage. You can strip the bark off of a young, you know, like 3 or 4 inch around white oak, and you'll have cordage immediately. It's the thin brown stuff that just peels off in long strips, and it's a rougher cordage, a little bit more brittle, but it's cordage. So there, out of those plants, there's your cordage. Fire. I have successfully started fire with the trunk, a fireboard off of the trunk of a red oak, fallen red oak, with both cattail and mullein spindles. So that's 2 options for fire. The third is the true tinder shroom that grows on birch trees farther up north than where I live, but still, you know, in this relative area. You can use cattail and mullein on the tinder shroom and start fire. So that's a couple different ways to start fire. Tinder, cattail, And milkweed has awesome tinder. Birch bark for starting your fire. Best thing on the planet. Starts even when it's wet, right? Birch bark is awesome for containers. Birches also afford in the springtime. You can tap them and use the sap as water. I mean, and you can fill liters very quickly just by tapping them or cutting into the tree. When I say tap, I mean as you would for maple syrup. So let's see, cordage, fire, some shelter. Obviously, you can use the wood for different things. So food. Cattail. Need I say more? There's so many sources of food just in a cattail alone. If you can find a swamp that has cattails, you should not die. Because not only are you going to have the cattails and all the other little plants that grow around, you're going to have the ecosystem that comes with it. Whether it be the lilies, which you can eat the roots of, then the frogs that are on that are jumping around on the lilies. If you got the stomach for it, if you're really hungry, you can eat the frogs. There's fish if there is. There's birds eating the fish. There's other animals eating the birds. There's moose stopping by. It's an oasis. A swamp is an oasis in an otherwise dry forest. There's deer. There's beavers. You shouldn't starve. Anyways, I didn't want to get into